too far out. So we want to think about our own natural horizon here. You can also feel the back of the neck there, and then that just helps you. You can sense what is going on, whether you're too far forward or too far back. Okay, so this is parallel hip width apart or a neutral position. So we're going to start in there, and if Stephen and Beth are ready. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a few basic stretches. These stretches are about you releasing tension in the body. So again, if you refer to some of the introductions and taster videos that we've done, I go into the detail of how tension can affect the body. But what we really need to think about is that we need to release as much tension in the body as possible to allow the breath and the sound, the voice, to freely flow through the body. These exercises are very basic. There's nothing grandiose or particularly complex about them, but understanding exactly how to do them and the reasons behind them is quite important. If you want to use any other techniques like or methods or practices such as yoga, Pilates, meditation, they work really, really well with voice work and with the stuff that we're doing. So you can choose to use your own stretches if you wish. This is just a set of basic ones. We're going to start at the top of the body and work our way down. So we are stretching the whole of the body. The whole of your body is your instrument for voice, so we will want to work with all of it. Okay, so we're going to get started, guys. Okay, ready? Yeah. Fantastic. So we're going to start off with the neck, and we're just going to let the head drop to the chest. Just starting to release some of all the tensions around here, around the neck, and around the shoulders, a big area for tension, so it's a place where we're going to have to really concentrate on. So letting the neck fall down to the chest and roll over to the side so your ear is over your shoulder. You want to make sure at this point that there is space between the ear and the shoulder, that the shoulder hasn't tried to creep up towards the ear, that the shoulders are dropped. And then you want to extend your arm. So we're extending the arm right the way down to the fingertips, so we're working with the complete part of the body. You can see that nice line and how Beth is starting to release all these muscles around here. And then place your hand on your head. Again, making sure the shoulder is nice and loose. There is some space in between the ear and the shoulder. It's important here not to pull down the head, okay? Just let the weight of the head extend this stretch for you. Okay, so if you're in your position, you can just feel that stretch. Again, we're not pushing or pulling, we're trying to open and release the muscles here and let go of that tension. So you can now let go of the extended arm, let go of the head, and then we want to just nod, which just again allows those muscles to release. Let the head float up. Hopefully you can feel some difference from one side to the next, and then we'll move on to the next side. Let the head drop. So we'll take that again, guys, because you don't drop. Okay, so, and then we'll move on to the next side. So let the head drop, and just roll over onto the other side. Again, just checking your ear, your shoulder hasn't crept up, your shoulders are still dropped. Extending the arm right to the fingertips, bringing in the nice extension of the weight of the hand on top of the head. And stretching out. As you can see, it's a very simple stretch, but it's very, very useful for this whole area of the body. Letting the arm go, letting the hand go, and letting the head float up. And I'll do that again. So you're in position. So can you get into the, yeah, and the arm, yeah. So you're in position because I fucked that up. I always do. So as you can see, it's a nice extended stretch working these areas of the body there. So we can now let the hand go, let the arm go, and nod, just to keep everything nice and loose and released, and let the head float up. Hopefully you can feel some difference. Now we're going to move on to the shoulders. Again, another area where you can feel a lot of tension, carrying a lot of bags. You know, through our busy day-to-day lives, it's an area where tension can really sit, and sometimes we don't even notice it. When tension becomes habitual, there's definitions of this on the website, it means that the tension has become kind of ingrained, almost sort of permanent within our bodies. That's some of the most difficult tension to release. The shoulders is an area where that can happen a lot. So we just want to take the shoulders and roll them up and back. So as you can see with the guys here, we're making really big shapes here. As Beth does her shoulders, I'm just going to turn her around again. So we want to work the whole area of this. Your shoulder blade comes all the way down, okay? So we want to think of this whole area of the back being released. Quite often what we think of is that this is the shoulder, but we have that whole area there. Okay, so rolling back and changing directions, just making sure that you're going in both of the directions, keeping it nice and loose. Lovely, and then just bouncing the shoulders out, just getting rid of any excess tension there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so now we're going to do quite an extended shoulder stretch. I call it the windmill stretch because your arm is going to go round and round like a windmill. For this we have a particular stance, so we're going to move our left leg forward and our right leg is going to go towards the back. The left leg is facing forwards and the right leg is facing onto the side here, as if you're creating a kind of L shape with your feet. Your heels should be in line with each other, so as if this is your heel and this is your heel, okay? So this position just allows you to be able to move and to have some kind of flexibility while still being stable on your feet, because this is quite a big motion, okay? So we're going to take the arm round clockwise 20 times, and then we're going to do anti-clockwise 20 times as well. This exercise can send a lot of blood to your hand and can be a little bit uncomfortable. A nice top tip is for you to just curl your fingers ever so slightly as you're going round. The more you kind of let yourself go and let yourself be moved, the better. And then going round the other way 20 times. So you're really feeling that looseness, that shoulder being kind of, the arm being heavy, really letting the momentum of the arm take you round. And when you've done 20 on each side, coming back to the neutral and just checking that one hand is slightly longer than the other. It's like a nice physical example of how you've released the tension there. We can physically see it happening. Okay, and then the other side, and 20 again. So the neck and the shoulder, as I said, are areas where lots and lots of tension can hold, as well as the hips, and we'll move on to those in a moment. Those are some of the big areas, and the ribs where we want to release the tension, just letting the guys get to their 20 there. You can see them bending a lot and allowing their body to be moved by the action, but still being quite stable in that position. That's why the position is quite important. Okay, fantastic, and then just coming back to neutral.